evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Federation of the Gulf Cooperation Council Chambers discusses in Muscat the challenges that face the Custom Union Authority. The National Innovation Strategy Workshop reviews economic diversification and human development. And green economy is a project to develop Omani exports outside oil and gas sectors. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Toomas Ilves of Estonia on his country's National Day. The Sultanate, represented by Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry, hosted the 38th meeting of the executives of the Federation of the Gulf Cooperation Council Chambers, FGCCC. The meeting approved minutes of the 37th and 38th meetings of the FGCCC executives, reviewed the follow-up report of the 38th meeting of the FGCCC executives and the 47th meeting of the FGCCC's Board of Directors, and discussed the recommendations of the first Gulf Economic Forum, which was held in Doha. The meeting also discussed FGCCC Secretariat General's final statements and draft annual report for 2015 and the activities plan for 2016. The meeting also reviewed the custom union issues, as the Federation intends to study again the challenges that may face the Custom Union Authority and the launching of the Gulf Custom Union. $2 trillion is the private sector investment volume in the Gulf Cooperation Council countries. This was stressed to Sultanate of Oman television and radio by Abdul Rahim Hassan Naqi, Secretary General of the Federation of the Gulf Cooperation Council Chambers. He added that the meeting discussed all the files and issues that will be presented to the Federation's board in its next meeting in Ras Al Khaimah in UAE. He pointed out that it also covered a number of important issues related to implementing the Gulf economic citizenship and eliminating the challenges that may face the private sector. Works of Workshop National Innovation Strategy, which is organized by Research Council, are continued in Muscat. The workshop included experts from UNCTAD organization, which is concerned by economic, commercial, industrial and human development. The workshop focused on 4 national pillars for innovation, namely capital economic diversification, institutional and social communication, in addition to the pillar of intellectual property. The workshop aimed to come out with best approved models for national innovation strategies at the international level. In this regard, Dimo Kalovsky, Economics Affairs Officer in UNCTAD Division on Technology and Logistics, had this to say.
The reason why we're having this policy, this workshop, is that between 2013 and 14, UNCTAD and the Research Council conducted an innovation policy review of Oman. We produced a set of recommendations for implementation, among which is the development of a national innovation strategy for Oman. This workshop that we're holding currently is to build the capacity for the implementation of the strategy. It is to get everyone on board on the basic ideas of what is innovation, how it relates to innovation strategy, and how this relates to the ambition of building a national innovation system for Oman.
The Green Economy Workshop review of the Sultanate's green exports started in Muscat. The 2-day workshop is being organized by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry in collaboration with the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD. The workshop coincides with the first months of the 9th 5-year development plan, which stands on the economic diversification policy. The first session introduced the Sultanate's national report for green exports. The second session discussed the green sectors in the Sultanate, reality and challenges, while the third session highlighted the fishery sector in the Sultanate in terms of legislative, economic, commercial, investment and development aspects. The fourth session will discuss the eco-tourism in the Sultanate, while the fifth session will be on date sector, the legislative, economic, trade, investment and development aspects. Still to come in our news bulletin. The cultural week entitled Pioneers of Success included various activities and events in Buraymi University College. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Limiting road accidents and achieving traffic safety in the Sultanate topped the meeting of National Committee for Road Safety at the Police General Command in Qurum. The meeting also reviewed a number of issues related to traffic and took proper decisions in this regard. The meeting was chaired by Lieutenant General Hassan bin Muhsin al-Shariqi, Inspector General of Police and Customs. Sandan Development Company launched its new Sandan Integrated Park for Light Industries project, which is the first of its kind in the Sultanate. Sandan Park for Light Industries is located in Halban and is characterized by a strategic location as it is located between Muscat Expressway and Al Batana Expressway, with 3 front lines and only 5-kilometer distance from Al Ma'bela exit on the highway, and is expected that 15,000 people will work and stay there, in addition to customers and visitors who daily visit the park. The park will be built over an area of 250,000 square meters and will host 2,400 workshops and exhibitions of used cars and building materials, in addition to 450 offices and 1,400 housing units. The work on the project will be launched in June, and the project will be completed and ready for delivery after 2 years. The event was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Masoud al-Sinadi, Minister of Commerce and Industry. On this regard, His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Masoud al-Sinadi, Minister of Commerce and Industry, had this to say.
Well, this is a very important venture. We are used over the years to see the government provide industrial estates. And today we see this particular project whereby there was a land unutilized for many years that is put to good use, and with good cooperation with the directorate concerned in the Ministry of Housing, to change the use of this particular industrial estate, have a complete recreation center inside it, be able to have a mixed-use land. And I think this is very timely to see many people who own big plots of land, in particular in the Batana, where they can change the use of their land and make them into much more attractive lands like these for SMEs. I also think we have been used to using lands in housing, but I think this is a very adventurous yet pioneering idea. I hope we see more of that all around Oman.
The Shell company announced the start of an experimental project to use solar energy in a number of schools in various governorates of the Sultanate. The project aims to enhance concepts of sustainable energy and spread awareness of this energy within the educational curricula. The project will be applied within 5 years gradually in all schools. Heads of the diplomatic and consular missions, as well as the United Nations UN offices accredited to the Sultanate, their wives and charge d'affaires, visited Glances on Oman Modern March exhibition today. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubi'i.
Glances of Oman Modern exhibition on display here for a month consist of the selected pictures that show the vast expanse of Omani life under the glorious reign of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos. Each picture here narrates story on its own. Their Excellencies, the ambassadors, heads of diplomatic and consular missions, as well as the United Nations officers accredited to the Sultanate, visited the exhibition that consists of 700 photographs. Their Excellencies were briefed on these photographs of His Majesty the Sultan that documents the prosperous march of His Majesty since the dawn of the blessed Renaissance and the events that His Majesty attended at the local, regional and international levels.
This is an amazing exhibition. I'd heard a lot about it in the newspapers, and I've seen some of the pictures before. I have copies of some of the pictures in my residence, but I particularly like the pictures of His Majesty on his tours around the different areas of Oman. I've heard a lot about this. I have some of these pictures in my residence, copies, but it is the first time I've seen a really big collection of these photographs. And that represents, an amazing era in Oman's history, and I'm representing a country, the United Kingdom, that has great and historic, excellent relations with Oman. But we're really proud of the fact that Oman has developed its relationships with many, many countries in the world, and we hope in the next stage that will lead to the strengthening of relations between us, between Oman and the other countries at every level.
Their Excellencies saw the rare photographs that were centered around the leader of the modern Oman and the stages of construction that took place at the very beginning of the Renaissance, which clearly describe the milestones that were made by the leader, who completed an epic of developing the country, fulfilling their promises and moving Oman to a high rank.
What we have seen today through the photographs, which showed us since the year 1970, Oman has been transformed drastically through the leadership of Sahib al-Jalala, Sultan Qaboos, and actually this state has changed, developed, have seen so many changes which we really appreciate as ambassadors from foreign countries to the state of Oman.
Their Excellencies watched through an array of photographs some historical stations and scenes that carried various details of hard work done and achievements made by His Majesty in building the life of Omani people in every inch of this good and fruitful land, recognizing efforts made by His Majesty through his leadership in establishing close and strong relationships with various countries of the world, which transformed Oman to the level of modern state and to the ranks of developed countries.
This is a great opportunity for everyone, both locals and foreigners, to know how His Majesty has contributed for the development of this country and the recognition he has received from the foreign nations.
During the tour, they listened to a detailed explanation of photos that embodied the features of building bridges with the world through the visits of His Majesty to the world leaders and the reception in the Sultanate. His Majesty earned the respect of the world through his wise vision and accurate reading of the events of more than 45 years, by which he contributed in solving a number of sophisticated regional and international issues. Indeed, these pictures displayed here do express blessed reign of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubai, Sultanate of Oman Television.
Discussions on creating a number of housing planning schemes that referred from the Directorate General of Housing in the Governorate of South Batna topped at the meeting of the Municipal Council in the Governorate. The Council also reviewed the demands of accelerating establishment of one-stop station in the Governorate. The meeting also discussed responses received on maintaining the road of Ghubrat Al-Taw in the Wilaya of Nakhal and the road of Al-Lagal in the Wilaya of Wadi Al-Maawil. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Sheikh Hilal bin Saeed Al-Hajri, Governor of South Batna. More than 267 educational projects in various governorates of the Sultanate were financed by Oman Development Bank ODB with a value of 14 million Omani Riyals within the framework of its efforts in financing productive and service projects. One of the modern projects financed by ODB is the premises of Global Oasis Kindergarten in the Wilaya of Bauchi in the Governorate of Muscat. Oman Development Bank stressed its continued support for private education sector by providing financial help to enable educational institutions to perform their mission smoothly. Directorate General of Education in the Governorate of Al-Dhahira celebrated World Mother Language Day, which falls on the 21st of February every year. The celebration stressed the importance of learning languages and the need to enhance perception of the new generations in the Governorate. The celebration included an exhibition on the Arabic language, poems, plays and visual shows. A number of activities and events were highlighted by the Cultural Week, which entitled Pioneers of Success in the Buraimi University College. The activities of the year came to embody the Omani heritage through a number of events provided by the college students during the 7 consecutive days. The Cultural Week included a number of poetry nights, lectures and theater plays. Now for the general weather forecast. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of scattered rainfall on the governorates of Dhafar, Al-Wusta and Haja Mountains, as well as chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning on the coastal areas overlooking the Sea of Oman and the Arabian Sea. Winds will be northeasterly light to moderate on the coastal areas overlooking Sea of Oman. In the rest of the governorates, it will be easterly to southeasterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Federation of the Gulf Cooperation Council Chambers discusses in Muscat the challenges that face the Custom Union Authority. The National Innovation Strategy Workshop reviews economic diversification and human development. And green economy is a project to develop Omani exports outside oil and gas sectors. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.